So, will the Bears beat the Packers on Sunday? Sports Talk Chicago. Here with Jon Zaghloul. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more Chicago Bears and Chicago sports content. Follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago and hit up our sponsor, Amish Country Farms in Orland Park. Link is in the description of this video. Boy, does it feel good to be previewing NFL games again. I'll tell you, sometimes in those dog days of summer, I love baseball, don't get me wrong, but you miss the preview and then the post-reaction to all these Bears games. Over the years, it's been heated on this program for many reasons, whether it's the Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles era to Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace to Nick Foles and Justin Fields and this team tanking. There's been so much reaction and so much passion brought to these preview and post videos, and you guys have shown out in abundance supporting them. So I just want to preface all this by saying it's good to be back. Bears-Packers this weekend. As of right now, the Bears are actually a -1 favorite. So, it's pretty much even, but the Bears are a favorite entering this game, and I think it's just because there is so much unknown and so much that is unpredictable right now. Justin Fields and Jordan Love are going to be squaring off. We don't really know what Jordan Love is in for. We don't know how good Justin Fields is going to do, though, either with this new weaponry and this new offense and being in year 2 of the Luke Getsy, Matt Eberflus system. Now, we do know the Bears are going to run the football a lot. The Packers last year had the worst run defense, one of the worst ones in the NFL. The Bears had one of the best run offenses in football. I think that's going to be a big key for the Bears. Regardless of the quarterback battle and worrying about Justin Fields throwing, I think more than anything, running the football is going to be the Bears' bread and butter this weekend. In case you didn't know, on the defensive line for the Packers, Rashawn Gary, who has had 23 sacks across 40 games in the last 3 years, is going to be on a pitch count, so he may not be in all the time, which will help Fields in terms of staying in the pocket, throwing the football, and the Bears' run game. Kenny Clark's going to be active, though, and, they have a couple of other guys here, Preston Smith, Devontae Wyatt, to Darryl Slayton. All of them are going to be active. So the Packers have a good trench. They have a good defensive line, and I think that's something that's going to be worth monitoring. But Gary on a pitch count is going to be huge for the Bears because he's been a menace against this team and against the NFL this past couple of years. The Bears are going to have to find a way to push through the trenches with their depleted O-line that are going to have some injuries and some guys in different positions like Cody Whitehair. They're going to have to find a way to push through the lines and run the damn football. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Justin Fields, but the fact is, until the Packers prove it to me and prove it to everybody, their run defense was one of the worst in football. It's not like their defense or their team's gotten much better this offseason. It's been a lot of the same, and now they have a brand new quarterback and a new opportunity. Could be good, could be bad. I think Jordan Love's going to be better than what people expect and what he's shown over these past couple of years in limited time, but I really don't think he's going to be MVP of the NFL and lead this team to a division win. And you can't expect that out of him in his first full year in pads on the field. This is going to be key. Running the football is going to be key. And the quarterback battle is going to be fascinating to me. I really want to see Justin Fields. I want to see what he brings to the table and what he plans on doing. Weaponry here. Offense and scheme in his mind. Second year. What are the Bears going to do? How will they use the run game to their advantage in the sense of who's going to get the majority of the carries? I don't think it's going to be Roschon Johnson, although I'd love for it to be. Probably going to be a combination of Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman. How many times will Justin Fields run the football? How many design runs will be called versus how many times does Fields kind of scramble out of the pocket when he gets in trouble? These are all significant questions. And in years past, it's been interesting because usually we could kind of predict how things are going to go. Last year, I remember we got this one dead right. Niners, Bears, Trey Lance starting, who I think's a bust. Trey Lance starting the game. Bad weather, sloppy conditions, Soldier Field. I said the Bears were going to win it. A lot of you said no, and they did win it. It was stunning, but it was so exciting. And I don't know if that meant that, the Bears are going to end up going 12-4, and I thought they were going to be great. I mean, it was what it was for that game, but at the end of the day, they ended up tanking and really falling off after that big win. I think this year, game one is not going to similar to last year, like prove everything. But I think it's going to be important. And I'm excited to see how this one just plays out. And it's hard to predict how it's going to go. And I think that's the key thing from all of this. I'm not going to sit here like I did last year. I was pretty confident. I'm not confident in anything this year. I'm not confident in how Jordan Love's going to perform with the Packers and how the Packers are going to do in general. Not confident in even Justin Fields and how he's going to do. There's going to be rust shaken off from both QBs and both offenses and both defenses early on. So I'm not going to sit here definitively and say, hey, I know how this is going to go. I know the Bears are going to win or the Packers are going to win. I really don't know. This is right down the middle. And even Vegas says the same thing. There is no clear-cut favorite. And there is no big-time difference maker that makes you say, yes, it's going to be them. No. This division's wide open, which we've said all summer. And that's kind of going to be put in full focus here in this game. This game from the outset shows why the division is wide open. There is not a clear front-running dominant team in this division. The Packers are no longer that. The Vikings have really never been that. The Lions are kind of the favorite, and then the Bears are there too. This whole thing's wide open, and this game proves it right now. And the perception surrounding this game proves everything's wide open, everything's on the table, and nobody knows what's going to happen. That's why the NFL is fun to watch, unlike the NBA, where it's kind of predetermined day one who's going to be in the finals, who's going to be in the playoffs. But I think the big difference maker for the Bears specifically, if there's one part of their game that they should focus on and one part of the game that they could exploit Green Bay on, it has to be the run game. Has to be. You're going to have effectively 4 running backs active week 1. You're going to have Khalil Herbert and Deontay Foreman. Roschon Johnson will be there. I don't know how many carries he's going to get, but he's going to be around. And then Justin Fields. You have 4 running backs week 1 facing off against the reigning worst run defense in football. That is going to be the number one key if the Bears want to take away a win here and steal a win away week 1. All eyes are going to be on the quarterbacks. All eyes are going to be on the cool stuff and the fun stuff. I'm telling you right now, the run game is going to be the big number one difference maker for this team. If the Bears do what they're supposed to do running the football, they're going to be great. You know, we heard reports last week that the Bears will not run Justin Fields less. I would expect Fields to get a couple of opportunities to run the football, design runs, opportunities for him to burst through the trenches, gain 5-10 yards, move the ball forward, move this team forward. Running the ball for him is going to be key too. We're going to do a bit of a separate video on this, but I did hear about and see that the Packers are planning to use the Mitch Trubisky strategy against Fields. Not going to work. It's going to be hard for the Packers to contain Fields. And this is not me blowing steam here. I mean, it's a fact that Justin Fields did run for 1,100 yards last year. We can't forget what he did. It is not going to be easy for the Packers to put him in a box and limit him as a playmaker, as a quarterback. They have got to be all eyes on Fields all the time. Then on top of it, you have quality wide receivers for once. You have 3 running backs in the backfield are ready to go. If the Bears' offensive line, which is a bit beat up, can hold up, I think the Bears could easily take this one away. It's anybody's game. That's why I promise you right now, depending on how the Bears lose and what happens, if they do lose, I'm going to be disappointed because there is no clear-cut favorite. This isn't a game where it's like, oh man, the Bears are going to be steamrolled. No, the Bears could win this game. This is unbelievably winnable. So that's exciting. So they better not screw it up. It is winnable. It is doable. This isn't, oh boy, they're going to be bad this year. Oh, you know, they tanked all last season. They got the number 1 pick, blah, blah, blah. No, they spent money with getting the number 1 pick, and they're ready to go. It's time. The season's here. They know what they need to do. They know how they need to perform, and they know what's ahead of them. Plans in place. I'm excited. Football's back. And this Bears team has a large task ahead of them. to start off the year. This game's being hyped up because of the rivalry, and the Bears have never beaten the Packers in X amount of games. At the end of the day, this is different than past Bears-Packers matchups. Before you knew the Bears were facing Aaron Rodgers, yeah, they're going to lose. And that's sad to say as a Chicago media member and a Bears guy, but it's true. And I will say this, too, and this is pretty historic. When was the last time the Bears were even favored to win against Green Bay? When was the last time we all thought and had an idea that, hey, maybe the Bears could win this game? Or this is anybody's game? It's been years. We're talking about decades even. Because there is a new quarterback and there is uncertainty. A lot of rookies, a lot of young people for the Packers that need developing. So the fact that we're even here goes to show that things have improved for the Bears significantly as far as situation and circumstance. Now the question is, will they take that next step? I don't know about you guys. I'm not satisfied with, wow, the Bears actually have a chance versus before they didn't. No, it should be, wow, the Bears are going to win this game. They're facing the Packers. I'm happy they have an opportunity, but hopefully later in the season, when they face off again, it's, yeah, the Bears are easily going to win this game. It's been a long time since the Bears were just favored or known to beat Green Bay. It's always been, yep, that's going to be a loss. Go through your schedule prediction. Yep, they're going to lose to Green Bay. And that's annoying after a while. That's annoying to hear for years and years and years. Yep, they're going to lose. All right, move on. No, not anymore. This is an even battle. And this, in my opinion, could be a nice way to start off the season. And this could be a season-defining win week one. And I know I don't want to say season-defining. Everyone's going to come after me. John, you're over-dramatic. But really, you come out week one, you beat the Packers right away with Fields trying to really get acclimated to this new offense. And, I mean, the storylines and the implications that come along with it would be huge. It is not unreasonable to say if the Bears do pull this off, and depending on how they win, how dominant they are, it is season-defining, and it could start a huge ball of momentum rolling in the right direction. There's a lot riding on this game. Every game's important. This one's very important. It's not like the Bears are 3-12 limping their way to the end of the season. New year, new opportunity, wide open division, and you got this game won against Green Bay. This is huge. And a lot has changed since the past couple of, 5-10 years. A lot has changed considering where this game is today and the expectations surrounding it. There are different expectations surrounding this game than in years past. This is not, okay, it's going to be a wash, Bears lose, who cares? No. This is going to be, hey, wide open. This could be a precursor to how the division shakes out. Bears have to come prepared. Both teams have to come prepared. So I'm very excited to see how it plays out. I'm going to go out on a limb here, because we do score predictions every week on this program. And I'm going to go out on a limb and give the Bears the benefit of the doubt and say they're going to win. I expect them to win. Final score, to me, real tough one. I'm going to say 24-17 Bears win. That's my prediction, 24-17 Bears win. Heard it here. And we'll make sure we publicize it and get your predictions. You could comment them here or comment them on the community tab. 24-17. I don't think it's unrealistic. And that's why I'm going to be a bit disappointed if they lose Monday when we go live and talk about the game. But that's the point, isn't it? For once, it is an open, level playing field. It's not, yes, they're going to lose, let's move on. No. They have an opportunity week one to make a statement and take down Green Bay and show everybody who's boss in the NFC North. And proverbially show that this is their division now. Things are changing. It's different. They got to come through. They should win this game. In my opinion, there's no excuse. I don't care about the offensive line being battered. I don't care about all these excuses that people are going to make. We still hear people in Chicago sports media who have literal jobs doing this saying, I'm okay with 6 wins. Not kidding. That's been said on the radio as of this week, even. No. They should be expected to win this game. We're not going to shill for the Bears here. We're going to cover this accurately and fairly. And the fair fact is, this team is not a 6-win team. This team shouldn't be beaten down and being thought of as a 6-win team, because they're not. They're much better. They have the talent and they have the economic backing of Ryan Poles and company to be much better. They should be expected to win. You should expect them to win week 1. And I hope they do. 24-17, you heard it here first. Bears are going to win this one. We're going to be with you on Monday evening live to recap it. Thanks for watching today's show here at Sports Talk Chicago. Appreciate you tuning in. Subscribe to the channel for more Chicago Bears and Chicago sports content. And follow us all over at Sports Talk Chicago. Big thank you to John Meadows for directing and producing. And hit up our sponsor, Amish Country Farms. Link is in the description. So long, everyone.